Generally, I'm not one to call other YouTubers out for their videos, what content they choose to upload, and such. But, however, recently there was a review, I should call it a review in quotations, released by a YouTuber called Under the Mayo, who basically critiqued Batman Arkham Knight in the most harsh way possible. Now, I understand that not all opinions are going to agree with me. I understand if someone doesn't like a game that I do. I completely understand that, but I think some of his takes were very, very wild, and I wanted to make a video today just discussing my thoughts on his video. And please do not go sending hate his way. This is nothing personal against him. It's just I do not like a lot of his opinions, and I just want to dissect the opinions. It's not about him. So please do not go send hate his way, and let's get right into this.
I really liked Arkham City, let me make that clear, and having to make such a strong prelude to this video should tell you exactly where this is going. I've been warned ever since the release of that video that I'm going to struggle with Arkham Knight. Not universally, some of the comments talk about how it has the best combat in the series. I've seen some videos on YouTube showing off what Batman can do, it looked really cool. But a lot more people talked about how much of a downgrade it is and how bad the driving sections are. I wanted to give it a fair shot, just pick it up and play and see where it takes me. And, well, I'm fucking shocked. I had no idea it could be this bad.
I understand if someone doesn't like Batman Arkham Knight. I can kind of understand why, a lot of people might dislike the story and such, but if you're gonna make claims you had no idea it could be this bad, you better have some very strong reasons to back up your words.
Arkham Knight is hands down one of the most irritating, frustrating, and boring games I've played in years. It's not even bad in an interesting way. The whole thing is just wrong.
Like I said before, if you're going to be making claims like these, you seriously need to be able to back them up with legitimate reasons, otherwise you're just wasting everybody's time.
So many people warned me about the driving sections, but no one actually gave me a sense of just how much of the game they take up.
If you go back and watch That Boy Aqua's video, he actually concluded that obviously depending on the player there are variables, but it takes up about 20% of the overall gameplay. That is not that much gameplay in comparison to you actually playing as Batman, not in the Batmobile.
They made it seem like an inconvenience, something you have to tolerate and try to ignore. No, I swear half this fucking game is driving the Batmobile, driving around the streets and fighting tanks. Tank combat, just what you want in a Batman game.
First of all, I just listed the stats about That Boy Aqua's video. By the way, go watch his video on Batman Arkham Knight. It's fantastic. I think you guys will really enjoy it. But secondly, Batman Arkham fans for years have been asking to drive the Batmobile, and now that we have it, you all of a sudden don't like it? And it isn't just this guy. It's every Batman Arkham fan that complains about the Batmobile. I understand there's certain things we don't like about it, but we did ask for it, so we should be grateful it's in the game in the first place.
Dodging missiles and blowing up 10 tanks in an arena fight, sneaking around Cobra tanks driven by morons that can't hear the Batmobile running over things behind them, and then shooting them in the back. Over and over and over.
The one thing I will agree with this guy on is the Cobra tank battles are absolutely atrocious in this game. Was not a fan. However, with the rest of the tank combat, I actually thought it was extremely interesting and something new added to this franchise instead of that rinse and repeat same old melee and stealth combat. At least this time we get something new to enjoy.
Missions where you gotta find a way to get the Batmobile into the area so it can do something for you. Call the Batmobile so it can save you. It never ends. Main missions, side missions, it doesn't matter. Oh, I'm gonna do this side quest and stop this bad guy from burning buildings. Let's get him. Oh no, I have to chase him in the Batmobile, of course.
Well, considering the fact that this is probably the last Arkham game we're ever gonna see, I think Rocksteady wanted to go all out and use the Batmobile as much as possible, seeing as we're never gonna be seeing it again regardless. And this goes back to something I said earlier, and this is something that applies to everybody, not just this guy, but I guarantee you, if the Batmobile was in the game less, people would complain that there's not enough of the Batmobile in the game. Like, there is just no winning.
Oh, the Riddler kidnapped Catwoman. I like Catwoman, let's go save her. Shit, I have to race around the sewer first? 4 laps? Great. Okay, is she free now? No? I have to find and complete more of these driving challenges to save her? Well, sorry Catwoman, that's not gonna happen. You can just die for all I care.
At this point of the Arkham franchise, the Riddler was probably starting to realize that Batman actually is somewhat intelligent, and that in order to defeat him, he's going to have to use other methods besides the plain old riddles that he's been doing this entire time. He's going to have to make the challenges somewhat physical and much harder to complete. Also, I'm willing to bet Rocksteady did this as a way to mix up the challenges, just so it isn't the same rinse and repeat Riddler trophy over and over and over again. They make it more difficult and add different ways to collect Riddler trophies now.
I'm gonna say it again, I'm fucking shocked. There came a point where I got so fed up with the game that I turned it off for, I don't know, a solid week, maybe more. I put out some other videos, played some indie games. Finally, I came back to Arkham Knight, not remembering where I left off. I hit continue and loaded right into a fucking tank section.
Now, as much as I am defending Batman Arkham Knight, I do have to agree with this guy. The Cobra tank battles were just kind of a complete unnecessary addition to the already added on tank battles.
And when the driving sections finally end, you get thrown into melee combat and it's like whiplash. I can't even remember what game I was playing. What do all these buttons do again? How do I use the environmental attacks? I gotta look it up every time I open the game. Why is it the same button combination as picking up weapons? Why are there more colored indicators to react to? Blue indicators, red indicators, glowing objects, glowing people. Too much crap on screen.
The entire combat system in this game is not that difficult to memorize. It's just obvious that you probably didn't take that much time into learning the mechanics, so instead you're going to complain about how difficult it is just because you didn't practice them on your time. Also, there really isn't that much going on the screen at all times if you really look at it, and you don't have to use the environmental takedowns. You don't have to pick up weapons. You can do the combat the same as you've always done it, and you'll be just fine.
And why does the combat feel slower compared to Arkham City? Am I imagining things? The melee combat just doesn't feel as good to me. I remember when I first picked up City after Asylum and I tried to pick random fights in the street, I got my ass kicked right away and repeatedly. In Arkham Knight, if I pick fights, everyone is just a pushover. I don't know how to describe this in detail, it's just a feeling. I get that it's cool to have more options or different options, but the combat encounters themselves don't seem to really make that feel very satisfying.
Yeah, you are absolutely tripping here, my guy. And yes, Batman Arkham City does have fantastic combat. I am not taking anything away from that. But everything Batman Arkham City does, Batman Arkham Knight just does so much better. And even though the combat becomes borderline overpowered in this game, the enemies in this game are so much harder to deal with to the point where it kind of levels itself out and evens out the playing field.
One thing I loved in Arkham City was how seamlessly they introduced the functionality of your gear into the exploration of the world. The electric gun would open doors, the freeze bombs shut off the steam pipes and could be used to form glaciers on the water, and the grapple would pull you across. You were always engaging with your gadgets, which made me want to use them more in combat because I remembered I had them. I'm not getting that experience in Arkham Knight. Instead, the solution to all these puzzles tends to be find a way to make the car do it.
While the gadgets were definitely introduced very well in Batman Arkham City, you could also say the exact same thing about Batman Arkham Knight. Every single time you got a new gadget, you had a tutorial on how to use it. And if your complaint is that there is just too many gadgets overall, that honestly sounds like a good problem to have in this sort of scenario. And as for the Batmobile thing, like I said before, this is the game's one and only chance to use the Batmobile, and I'm willing to bet that Rocksteady just wanted to make as much use of it as they possibly could, without making it actually 50% of the game like you said it was earlier.
In Arkham City, I felt badass mastering the Batman fighting style. In Arkham Knight, I just want every fight to be over so I can move on.
I kinda wish that in this sort of scenario you actually gave more specifics about what you didn't like about the combat in this game, considering it is by far the best in the franchise, so I really wish you gave more specific reasons as to why you didn't like it.
But move on to what? The 50th Joker conversation? The next driving sequence? The next side mission that I'm absolutely trying to avoid because there's a 50% chance it involves the Batmobile?
Honestly, I don't know how you cannot like the Joker segments in this game. The Joker conversations in this game are probably some of the funniest parts in this entire game to begin with. Also, I already said earlier about the whole Batmobile shtick. You're in there for about 20% of the time, not 50. Please stop trying to over-exaggerate the number to make it seem bigger than it actually is.
I can't even get into the world because, as I've said, I'm not a Batman fan.
You're not a Batman fan, but yet you're going to critique a Batman video game. Yeah.
But Arkham City got me there. It got me interested in the experience, and I liked exploring and interacting with the characters. It felt like an authentic Batman world, fantasy but grounded in a way. Arkham Knight does not feel like a Batman game. It feels more like... oh god, this is gonna get me in so much trouble with people. It feels like Batman porn.
For you to say something like this, you have to have the world's best reason for me not to crap all over your opinion here. Because I beg to differ. I think that both games do an absolutely amazing job of making you feel like Batman. Especially in Batman Arkham Knight, when you have to fight people who know all your tricks in your arsenal, and you have to come up with new stuff just to be able to defeat them. That is what Batman feels like.
There's a moment early on when you're rescuing hostages, and Batman stops in the middle of the mission to call in an airdrop where he upgrades his suit. And it's this gross, overindulgent scene of, oh yeah, fuck yeah, look at all that sweet gear. Batman's so badass. Never mind the hostages are waiting to be rescued, let's run around doing these VR training missions for the next 20 minutes so we can try out all this radical Batman tech. It's gross. I felt like I needed a shower.
Batman literally puts on his suit in Batman Arkham City. You are going to sit there and tell me that that is not the exact same thing. Also, this is literally the game's way to demonstrate to you, hey, you have a new suit, this is how you use it. That's it.
It's not just Batman being Batman in Arkham City, it's Batman in the newest high-tech gear, man. He's got secret headquarters built all around the city. The Batwing flies in to help him. He's driving in the Batmobile shooting tanks, crashing into hundreds of cars and destroying the city and running over people without a care because he's so badass. I cannot get into this.
Yes, they're gonna show Batman in the latest high-tech gear, especially because it's been several months since Arkham City's passed, and he's gonna have to upgrade his suit. Not just that, but the game developers are not just gonna want to make you use the same suit over and over again, because then people would complain that it gets stale and boring. Also, Batman had secret huts in Batman Arkham Asylum, he had the Batcave in Batman Arkham Origins, and he used the Batwing in the first 3 Batman Arkham games on several occasions. So I do not want to hear complaints about that used in this game specifically. But also, as for damaged property, Batman damages property in every single Batman game. Maybe not fully to the extent of what he does in Batman Arkham Knight, but that's dependent on how you drive. Not the in-game character scenes, nothing that's out of our control. That is up to you. Batman destroys property in every single game.
I'm not saying there aren't things I like, I'm not saying there aren't good combat moments. I enjoyed figuring out some of the scenarios with multiple armed guards. I enjoyed encountering an actual puzzle during the campaign on the blimp, that was cool. It's fun to be able to swing off your grapple and instantly start flying, though it does feel significantly less grounded in Batman's abilities. I had fun here and there, but it was completely buried by dozens of experiences in misery and tedium.
While I am at least glad you were able to admit you did have fun in certain instances, the only things that you've really complained about thus far are the Batmobile and how you didn't like the melee combat for some reason.
I couldn't finish it. I made it halfway into the Harley Quinn section and I gave up.
You didn't even finish it, yet here you are making a critique video about why this game is so bad. Yeah, I could see why you didn't like it.
It didn't matter that it was presenting me with more actual combat. I think I just didn't care anymore. I don't want to risk any more side missions involving the Batmobile. I don't care who the Arkham Knight is or what he wants. I don't care to find out how Joker's blood is infecting people with his personality or whatever.
And you want to know why you don't care about any of this stuff? Because like you said earlier, you are not a Batman fan. So I'm confused as to why you're here making a critique video on a game on something that you are not a fan of.
I've had it up to here with this ridiculously bloated and unintuitive upgrade system where you can upgrade like 200 things. It's enough! I've had enough.
The upgrade system has done nothing but improve since Batman Arkham Asylum, and in Batman Arkham Knight, you have nothing but options and variety for which you can upgrade. Do you want to upgrade your car, your stealth health? Do you want to upgrade your melee health? That is entirely up to you. And the good thing about this game is you have a choice. And yes, while you did have a choice in other games, it was a lot more limited compared to what you have now. So again, this is a variety thing, and that's actually a good thing to have in this sort of game.
This game sucks. I'm gonna drink it out of my memory and just keep Arkham City in my thoughts. Thank you to everyone who warned me about this game. I wish I'd stayed away.
You literally cannot say that, though, about a game that you refuse to see through all the way, and a game that you refuse to finish.
And I'm tagging this on at the end because I feel everyone's gonna ask what I thought about the Fear Takedown. I think it's a completely unnecessary addition that makes stealth sections way too easy, easier than they already are, since the enemies just seem to not notice you've taken out half their crew. It's stupid that you get it for free, it's stupid that it's so easy to do, I hate it.
Except you don't get the Fear Takedown for free. You have to earn it by doing a silent takedown first, and if you don't do the silent takedown, you do not get a Fear Takedown. Also, this is the exact reason why Rocksteady added not only new types of enemies, but enemies that you cannot fear multi-takedown in the first place. Not to mention a lot more enemies than that were in the previous games. The moral of the story is, take this guy's opinion with an extreme grain of salt, seeing as he didn't even finish the game and he himself has admitted that he is not a Batman fan. But again, like I mentioned at the start of the video, do not go sending hate this guy's way. I will not tolerate any sort of backlash against this guy whatsoever, because even though this take was extremely controversial and very bad in my opinion, he is not deserving of hate because of his opinion over a video game, so please do not send hate his way. And that is all I have to say on today's video. Let me know what you guys want to see next down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more content. Peace!